Hi, I'm Heather.
And I'm Katie.
And today we are on part 2 of our meal planning. So we're going to try to get my Aunt Pam's manicotti made today. We're going to make pesto chicken stuffed shells. And I'm going to try to get to beef enchiladas. Now,
sounds like
whether we get all that done, we'll see. But yeah, so that's what we're going to try to get done today. And Katie's actually going to be making pesto from scratch. So that should be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to start with putting our water on for our manicotti noodles to boil. So Katie here is chopping walnuts. Now we didn't get pine nuts because I already needed walnuts for another recipe. And they can be interchangeable when you're making pesto. So she's going to chop those and then she's going to toast them. Katie is toasting these on a medium heat and she's just going to kind of stir them around until they become fragrant. That's what you're looking for. You'll be able to smell the walnuts toasting. Alright, so we're going to start with the filling for our manicotti. And what we're going to do is, the recipe that I have calls for chopped onions, but I'm just going to put these Thrive onions in it because I don't feel like chopping onions. So we're going to put some of this, and I am doubling this recipe. So so I have about a cup of onions in there, and then I'm going to put my garlic in. So it calls for about a tablespoon of minced garlic. So I'm just going to, there's about a tablespoon left in here. So we're going to just scrape that out. Actually, we might add a little bit more. And I do have regular garlic cloves, but just because there's so much dicing, mincing, all that kind of stuff, I went ahead and bought the stuff in the jar just to make my life a little bit easier as we're doing this. So we have our garlic in there. And now I'm going to put in cottage cheese. Now you can use ricotta, but I use cottage cheese just because it's less expensive, and this is what my aunt's recipe calls for. So my Aunt Pam was an amazing woman. I loved her to death. She was just the sweetest lady, kindest, caring, most compassionate person that I have ever known, and an incredible cook too. And I remember we went to go visit them when I was a little girl. They were living in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and she made this recipe, and I loved it. And so my mom asked for it, and so every time I make this, I think of her. Now she has passed away since then, but you know, there's always certain things that remind you of certain people, and so every time I make this, it makes me happy because I think of my Aunt Pam. Ow. And Jack's trying not to grate his thumb into the cheese.
Well, I have this tiny little block.
Just leave the little nub here. So he's grating my mozzarella cheese that's going to go in here. I'm going to put just a little bit of Italian seasoning in this. And with Italian seasoning, you kind of want to rub it in your hand to kind of, it almost kind of activates the spice. It makes it, it releases the oils that are in it. So, and then we're going to put with juice from 2 lemons in here. All right, so we're going to just squeeze our lemon juice into here. And the lemon juice is to keep your, what I understand is supposed to keep your cheese from getting super stringy. So like when you have those long strings of mozzarella cheese that don't want to break, the lemon juice will help keep it from doing that. All right, so Kate has our toasted walnuts in our food processor, and she's getting ready to put the garlic in. She's now going to put our Parmesan cheese into the food processor.
Yep.
And the cheese is not wanting to cooperate with her. So. Parmesan is some awesome cheese. Yeah, I just dumped the whole thing in there.
Here's the basil. I get to pick some of this stuff. I gotta pick 2 cups of it, so yeah, that's gonna take a while.
So Jack is one of my helpers today, and he is in the process of squishing up the ground beef for our beef enchiladas. So that's his job, is to kind of monitor that and squish it all up for me and everything. So, and I've got my water is getting ready to boil here to put my noodles in. Always salt your water so that your pasta has a little bit of flavor to it. So, but yeah, so that's what we've got going on over here. All right, so we're adding our eggs in now. And I've already got 2 in here, and like I said, since I'm doubling the recipe, I'm gonna need 6 of them. But the eggs help hold that cheese stuff together so it doesn't like run out all over the place when you pull it out of the pan. All right, and then we're gonna mix that up. And now we are going to add our mozzarella cheese in here. Then we're going to go ahead and mix that up again. And then the next thing that we're going to add is 2 packages of frozen spinach that have been thawed and all of the liquid squeezed out of it. So what I usually do with mine is I put it in a flour sack cloth or a tea towel and then just wring the liquid out of it. All right, we are going to put our manicotti noodles into our water, because it's now boiling. Now what you want to do is you want to cook these till they're just right before they are done. So they're still going to be a little on the stiff side. They will continue cooking in the sauce in the oven, but so that it makes it easier for you to put the filling in it.
So we now have our basil in here.
How much basil?
4 cups of it.
4 cups.
Because we're doubling the recipe.
And she picked it out of our front yard.
Yeah,
so.
Along with my brothers who have been really helpful. And now we're adding our olive oil.
So we learned a lesson. We're actually going to try this in the blender because the food processor doesn't chop it up nearly as fine as it needs to be. So go ahead and fire it up, Kate. All right, so after we put it in the blender, this is what it looks like, and it looks awesome. And hold on.
I had to add a little salt because it wasn't like salty enough.
It tastes really good too. And she did add a little bit of salt, but it tastes fantastic. So right here, if you can see this what looks like pond scum is not pond scum. That's just the juice from the spinach that I wrung out. So we're gonna just put that in there, and see, like I said, I just used this tea towel is stained because it's the one that I use to do this kind of stuff with anyway. So we're gonna put our spinach in there and then just mix it up. Make sure you break it up real good. It's chopped spinach, and then it has a tendency you want to kind of stick together. All right, there you go. It's all mixed together now. We are sauteing our chicken now for our chicken pesto stuffed shells. So that's what Katie's got going on over here. So we've just got chicken, some salt, some pepper, some Italian seasoning, and a little bit of olive oil in the pan. All right, for your pasta sauce, you can use anything you want. You can make your own homemade sauce. You can use a jarred pasta sauce. I'm going to be using the Thrive tomato sauce, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix it up in here. And that's what I'm going to be using for my my pasta sauce. There you go. That's how easy it is for us to mix up pasta sauce right now. So this, we're going to take and we're going to pour a little bit of it into the bottom of the pan so that our manicotti doesn't stick, and then we're going to go ahead and stuff our shells and put it in the pan.
Go.
I am taking the leftover cheese mixture because I always have some left over, and I'm just sprinkling it along the top of it so it'll make it extra cheesy and yummy and awesome. We are going to make our beef enchiladas. So we're starting with our ground beef here, and we're going to put in our spices. So we're going to put in some of our garlic. And again, this is a double recipe. And then we're gonna put in some of our green chilies here. I like these because then my fingers don't get hot, and if I accidentally rub my eye, like I'm not in like...
You're not like in total pain.
Yeah, I'm not wishing that I wasn't born. Alright, and then we're going to put in, again, the chopped green onions. And again, you can just use, like, if you have regular
Those
chilies.
Those are just normal onions.
They're the chopped onions.
You said green onions.
I'm sorry, the chopped onions. You can chop your own onions, you can chop your own chilies, you can get the little chilies in a can if that's what you want, but this is what we have, so this is what we're using.
And it tastes good either way, anyway.
And then we're going to put a little bit of chili powder in it.
Just a little bit, you know.
And then a little bit of cumin in it. To give it that kind of Mexican taste. I love the smell of cumin. That's like one of my favorite spices. We are putting, you can use sour cream, but we use yogurt just because it's more economical for us to do it. And this is just plain yogurt, and it works just as well as sour cream. And you want just enough to, you know, give it enough moisture to kind of stick together. So I might be adding more in here. I don't know just yet. So, and then we're going to add some cheese.
Just a little bit.
You like our giant plate of cheese? Well, actually, some of this is going in here, and then some of it's going on the tops.
Because you got to have cheese on top of enchiladas.
Yeah. All right, we're going to mix this up and see how it looks right now.
And enchiladas are one of my favorite meals.
Yeah.
Because they're, oh my gosh, the way Mom makes them is so good.
Yeah, actually, this is going to need some more. Can you get me just a big spoon, Kate, so I can...
Yep. When I was younger, I used to call them enchiladas.
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 Yep. She loved them, so.
I still love them.
Yeah. There's not much that my children won't eat. They're pretty... They're pretty not picky. I mean, there are things that they prefer more than others, but
yeah. As
far as like, you know, well, in our house, they're not allowed to say, ew, yuck, I don't like that. Because if they say it, they get another spoonful. Because our philosophy is that Daddy worked really hard to bring the money into this family to buy the food, and Mommy worked really hard to make it. Mm-hmm. We don't say yuck. We are thankful for what we have.
Yep.
All right, so we have our enchilada sauce. We're going with green enchilada sauce. We just got these cans here at Aldi. And so what I do with my enchilada, so you got a little bit of that sauce flavor inside your stuff, but it's not so wet that it wants to fall out, is I'll take my tortillas and I'll actually do this with them. So now they've got a little bit of that sauce on the inside. Now this is gonna be messy, but so you're gonna just take it and you're gonna put your filling on the inside. And I use the smaller ones, so that way when my kids eat like 2 or 3 of them, they actually think they're getting more, because if I use the big ones, sometimes they won't eat it all. So, and then we'll just wrap it up like that. And now we're gonna put it in I sprayed these pans, and we're just gonna stick them in there.
Because they'll stick if they don't, right?
Yeah, it'll stick if they don't. You don't want them to stick.
Okay.
Alright, so again, like with the manicotti, I have some leftover of the meat stuff. So I'm just going to sprinkle it all along the top of this so it's not wasted. And then we're going to put the sauce on it, and then we'll put cheese on it. I'm going to just take this sauce that was left over in the pan. We're just going to pour that over top of this, because we're not going to waste that either. Alright, we're now going to put the cheese on it. Lots and lots of cheese. And so with these make-ahead meals, what I'll do is like I'll have either like some side of vegetables, or like with this one we'll probably make Spanish rice to go with it. With the manicotti, we'll probably do a salad. So, but this is just the main dish that we're doing. So there are our beef enchiladas. so Katie is busy mixing up the chicken. The garlic's right there, bud. Can you help your sister? So she's the chicken has it's chicken.
It's chicken, pesto, garlic, and parmesan, and did I say pesto already?
Yeah, and cream cheese, right?
And cream cheese, yes.
Okay, so and I'll show you right here. You see that pan? That's what the stuffed shells look like. So that's our other meal that we're gonna have, and I think probably. I'm looking at it and going, usually things like this have like a sauce over it. And I bet anything we could probably put like a pasta sauce over it when we go to bake it, or have it on the side.
Or maybe an Alfredo.
Or an Alfredo sauce. Yeah, that would probably be good. So we're going to just go ahead and freeze those next. And then, yeah, I think we'll be done with our freezer meals for today. Right, Kate?
Right.
So this is Katie's handiwork of stuffing the stuff inside the shells.
And yeah.
Yeah, that looks yummy. All right, we're two tired people.
Yes.
So we've got 3 more meals made. Our Aunt Pam's manicotti, our beef enchiladas, and our chicken pesto stuffed shells. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you have any questions, leave them below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I think that's it. We're gonna go sit down now because we be tired people.
We be tired people.
Yes. So,
as always.
Yes, more updates as we go. Bye.